Lightning Rod at Dollywood is considered by many to be one of the best roller coasters in the entire world. It's personally my number one roller coaster. The breakneck pacing, powerful airtime, and beautiful setting make for a special attraction. However, it's also a very problematic ride. After being closed for a month recently, Dollywood has placed a sign outside Lightning Rod stating the following: Lightning Rod is closed for the balance of 2020 as it receives an upgrade from the manufacturer Rocky Mountain Construction. In 2021, lightning strikes twice. In this video, I will break down what this means, cover why I believe Lightning Rod is closed for the rest of 2020, and speculate what upgrade is coming for 2021. Lightning Rod opened in 2016 as the world's fastest wooden roller coaster, reaching speeds of 73 miles per hour. Built by Rocky Mountain Construction, or RMC, the coaster is the world's only launched wooden roller coaster, as it has a launched lift hill that blasts guests up a 206-foot hill at 45 miles per hour. Rather than use traditional wood coaster track, Lightning Rod uses RMC's proprietary topper track, which replaces the top layers of laminated wood with a layer of steel. This was designed to improve the ride's smoothness and reduce maintenance. Lightning Rod was unlike anything that had been seen before, and it was an ambitious project. But maybe it was too ambitious. From day one, Lightning Rod has been plagued with issues. On March 24, 2016, RMC released a statement saying the ride's launch system, which was made by third-party velocity magnets, could not perform at the level required for proper operation. This delayed the ride's opening when it was originally supposed to open with Dollywood in 2016. In May 23, 2016, the ride opened for technical rehearsal. And on June 13, 2016, Lightning Rod had its official grand opening. But then a few days later, on June 19th, the ride closed due to a part recall on the train. On June 29th, the ride reopened under technical rehearsal, but it had frequent downtime all summer. I was there the last week in July of 2016 and was unable to ride it, and this was an experience shared by many enthusiasts. Sometime over the summer, the trunk was removed from the back of Lightning Rod's car. One rumor was it was to make it easier to access the back panel for evacs, but maybe it was to reduce weight, but more on that in a bit. Lightning Rod's downtime worsened as the year progressed. It had a long stretch of downtime in the fall where the ride never even opened. Lightning Rod reopened in the winter, but the first day it reopened, it rolled back and closed for the remainder of the year. According to Pete Owens, the PR director at Dollywood, Lightning Rod was closed for the entirety of 70 out of 183 days during the 2016 season. In days it was open, it rarely avoided breakdowns, so really that number of days the ride was closed is probably looking a lot worse than what was reported. Lightning Rod opened for the start of 2017, but it closed sometime in May and was closed until June 16th. I was there in early June and missed Lightning Rod yet again. And the reason for this closure was to modify the launch. Lightning Rod still launches you to 45 miles per hour, but it's not held for as long, so you crest the top slower. There was a misconception that Lightning Rod had trim brakes added, and that was untrue. The launch just cuts off sooner, and gravity will slow you down. And this could have been for two reasons: either the launch system reliability or track wear. Most people speculated it was the launch issues, because Lightning Rod's launch is unique to the ride. However, I think track wear was the issue. When Lightning Rod reopened, it had one train operations. This reduced the ride's capacity, caused less cycles, which in turn would cause less wear. In 2018, Lightning Rod was closed from July 4th to October 10th. The park said it was not the launch system. Reports of a pothole at the base of the drop had formed in 2017 and 2018, and when the ride reopened in October of 2018, the pothole was supposedly gone. And that tells me that they were doing some track work down there. The other big clue was that when Lightning Rod reopened, it had a less ornate Zero car. The new Zero car was a lot smaller and presumably lighter. In 2019, Lightning Rod ran without the Zero car at times, but the ride ran consistently all season. In 2020, Lightning Rod started off running pretty well. The ride had some periodic downtime throughout the days, but in general, it was opening for a majority of the days in 2020. That was until late August. On August 21st to August 24th, Lightning Rod went down, presumably for track work. Reports were saying that the finale was getting quite rough, and I was actually there that weekend when the ride was closed, and I spotted some new wood in the final turnaround. Lightning Rod reopened on the following weekend of August 28th, but on August 31st, the ride had a rollback and has not reopened since. Based on the most recent breakdowns and the trend to retrack Lightning Rod and take weight off the track, I'm speculating the biggest issue with the ride is excessive wear on the track. The question is if it's just specific sections or a large chunk of the ride. If it's wear in the launch track and it's caused by the sudden force of the launch, I think there are three options. 1. A chain lift. The ride's max speed is 73 miles per hour, and the drop is currently 165 feet. Assuming the max speed is at the base of the drop, the height needs to be increased roughly 30 to 35 feet in order to achieve the same max speed. This would cause the removal of Dolly's hump after the first launch hill, but everything after the drop would feel the same if they increased the height. The second option would be an LSM lift. This would hold the speed constant the whole way up rather than accelerating like Lightning Rod currently does. This would give the ride a little extra boost if it can't get enough height on its own. The third would be a replacement launch. Now, this would only work if the issue is with the launch system, but I do not believe it is. The rumored track work that has occurred in the two sections over the past few years have something in common with each other. Both the pothole and finale cross over something, so they don't have as many supports directly under them. The first drop where the pothole was crosses over a road, and the speed hill after the quad down crosses over the pre-launch. Both these sections are high stress areas from the high speed in Gs. Higher Gs mean higher force exerted on both the track and riders. And that's not to say those are the only sections with issues. There could possibly be more. One option would be to re-profile the problematic sections. This would keep the ride wooden, but it would change how the ride feels. The layout wouldn't quite be the same. That's why my prediction for what will happen to Lightning Rod is an iBox conversion. So yes, I'm saying Lightning Rod will be the first RMC to be RMC'd. The steel iBox track should withstand the high stress better and provide a smoother ride. The question just becomes if they would only convert specific sections of the ride or the entire ride. And I'm on the fence. On one hand, I know Dollywood still wants the record for the fastest wooden roller coaster. To keep that record, they would need to keep a majority of the ride wooden. To do this, they could have RMC at iBox track to problematic sections, much like we've seen GCI do with the steel sections of White Lightning recently. The steel sections of White Lightning transition seamlessly to and from the wood segments. But my gut tells me they might retract the whole thing. It sounds crazy, but Lightning Rod has had months of downtime in 4 of its 5 operating years. And it's clear that Dollywood is unhappy with Lightning Rod's uptime. It's a source of guest contention and embarrassment for the park. Dollywood does not want to place a temporary band-aid on this yet again. They want to fix it long term. Dollywood does not want to fix only a small section, only to have the track issues crop back up again. While a full iBox conversion would transform Lightning Rod into an all-steel coaster, stripping it of the record for the fastest wooden coaster, if it causes improved uptime, it would be well worth it. Plus, an all-steel ride should hold up better, provide a smoother ride, and the layout would stay the same. It just wouldn't have that wood coaster rumble. Now, the big question would be cost. And I think it might only cost $5 to $6 million. My reason being is that most RMC conversions involve adapting an old layout into an all-new ride. Look at Iron Gwazi. That ride looks nothing like the old Gwazi, has a similar height and length to Lightning Rod, and it costs just $9 million. Converting Lightning Rod to an all-steel coaster should have less design time, since the support structure is already where it needs to be. It just might have to beef up some of the known problematic sections. I think the iBox conversion would be accompanied by newer and possibly lighter trains, since the ride's trains are rumored to be an issue as well. I'm hoping that still have the same awesome Zero Car design, but if omitting it will help the ride's reliability in any way, it's worth it. The last thing I want to touch on is the fact that Dollywood is calling this an upgrade, promising that lightning will strike twice in 2021. This could be Dollywood just being playful with the wording, but I don't think they'd tease that second part if it wasn't getting some sort of marketable improvement. One thought would be to add an inversion somewhere in the layout. It's one of only 2 RMCs without inversions, with the other being the original New Texas Giant. While possible, I think this is unlikely. Dollywood probably had the option to add inversions when the ride was being designed, but they decided to forego them. My second thought is that Dollywood will advertise the ride as hitting a higher top speed. I've heard rumors that Lightning Rod's top speed is actually higher than the posted 73 mph speed, since the ride has run faster than expected, and that's even after the launch cut off sooner. That may explain why the ride has seen extra track wear as well if it was running faster than intended. If Dollywood can advertise Lightning Rod as traveling even faster, that would be a pretty marketable upgrade if you ask me. Dollywood has an elite attraction in Lightning Rod. They just need to work with RMC to get the ride running. What are your thoughts on Lightning Rod's downtime, and possible things they could do to fix this ride in 2021? Again, my thought is that they're going to do a full iBox conversion and get lighter trains, but I'd love to hear what you think as well. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate if you gave this video a like and consider subscribing, because there'll be a lot more amusement park and roller coaster videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.